Ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it. The world is going to see why Fighting Spirit is one of the best animes out there. I'm talking about better than Naruto, better than Dragon Ball Z, better than One Piece. And I'm going to tell you 8 different reasons why this anime is better than all of these that I just mentioned. Starting with number 1, quality. I mean, for a 90s anime, the quality of Fighting Spirit is bar none. And the reason is that, forget about the animation for a second, but the storytelling, the plot. I mean, this anime has literally no filler episodes, which means that when you are watching this anime, you are just watching the pure story and you're not being bogged down by extended scenes or anything of the sort. By the way, I started rewatching this anime for the 3rd or 4th time since it came out on Netflix, and I was asking myself, like, dude, why is it that I can't stop watching episode after episode? Like, what is it that makes this anime unique? Because, most of the stories of the other animes, they have like a hero, he's somehow behind the 8 ball and he has to overcome. And really, it boils down to the storytelling. I mean, it's match after match after match. And it's not just like violence just for violence. Like, the story in between those matches just really make this anime better than the pacing. It's just better than any other anime that you're going to find, especially the big 3. Although some people say that Bleach may be in the big 3, but Bleach just sucks in general. Now, the other reason why, coming in at number 2, why this anime is just better is the emotional depth of this anime. I mean, I kid you not, every 1 to 2 to 3 episodes, I'm like crying, like I'm bawling out, because this anime just has so much emotions built in and weaved in within the anime that you just can't help but to get super attached to all of these characters. And I know that there are other animes that do this similarly, maybe like My Hero Academia, but unlike My Hero Academia, it doesn't overdo it, right? It just flows with the story, and you don't feel like they're just trying to get you, like you don't feel like it's just a tearjerker. Like, in fact, it is the actual pure story that is making you become so emotionally attached to these characters. Number 3, and this is actually another big one, is that Fighting Spirit doesn't rely on superpowers or supernatural abilities in order to capture your attention when it comes to the fighting. I mean, it's just boxing. Obviously, it's an anime, so it's going to be exaggerated to an extent, but it's just regular human beings putting their strength and their abilities to the test. And because of this, it actually makes the entire anime that much more relatable. Unlike other animes like Dragon Ball Z, I mean, none of us are Saiyans, none of us have a beast within us, and none of us have eaten a devil fruit, right? So just because of this alone, I think that the storytelling, I think that the fighting is just better and more relatable to us as we are watching this anime. Another reason why this anime is just better than all the other ones is that Ippo is just a likable character. Like, he's just a nice guy that's really trying to figure out what it means to be strong, to put himself to the test. What does it really mean to overcome? And that is just his character, right? I think that is his flaw and also his strength. Unlike some other characters where they can be annoying in certain pieces, I think that there's such a balance in Ippo when it comes to how hungry he is for what he wants, and at the same time, him just being a nice person. He's not a pushover, but he's just a nice guy. So the character development of where he goes from being bullied to this like super strong individual that did this through training and putting himself to the test, and it just makes you like him even more. The theme of overcoming and persevering through hard work, we're going to see this in all of the other animes that I've mentioned. But the way that is portrayed here, because it takes place in the real world, because we don't have superpowers here, it just seems that much more achievable for us that are watching. And thus, when Ippo is able to overcome these obstacles, it just hits home. It's almost like you're with him and you want him to succeed because you can see yourself in this character. And don't even get me started on the animation. Look, I get it. It's the 90s and it may look a little outdated at times, especially maybe at the beginning. But as the anime progresses, I mean, the animation just gets so much better as it continues to go on. And the choreography that's done is not lazy, right? You don't have, these like stills where it's just a punch and the stuff is moving around them. Like they're moving, they're stepping back, right? So it's not just like a focus on the face or a punch or something like that. Like you're actually seeing these characters move, and you can just see the effort that these animators put in this anime, and it just makes you want to watch it even more because you just appreciate the fact that they didn't cut corners. I mean, even in scenes where you're standing around, you're not seeing these goofy scenes like you see in like Pokemon, for example, where like they're missing a mouth or something like that. Like all of the scenes that are drawn and that you see on screen are drawn, and they're drawn to excellence. La, 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 la. Now, getting here towards the end, looking in at number 7, one of the things that really makes this anime just likable in general is the overall humor. I mean, it's funny. It's the 90s, right? You don't have a lot of this like censorship that you have going on. So it's just reminiscent of a time where we actually joked around with each other and nobody took it seriously. And you can actually see that the main characters and the supporting characters are just really good friends, and the way that they joke around with each other, you could relate it to at times with how you would joke around with your pals when you guys are just hanging out and having fun.
Whoa, not too bad, Ippo. There. Just kidding. Come back in a million years and challenge me again, kid. You're so cruel.
I mean, they poke fun of each other. They, even in tough times, like you see some of the characters poking fun, even if they just lost a match. And it's just like something you would do. Maybe if your buddy was having a bad day, you would poke fun of them in hopes that you would make them feel better. So it just feels really real. And the comedy is actually just funny, Let's just not mention that thing. Do you know what I mean? For those that are fans.
Nothing. It's just between us.
Ha! You call this nothing?
And last but not least is that there are some actual inspirational moments in this anime. I mean, you see that, this fighter, Ippo, he at a point has to make a choice. Like, his mother becomes sick because she's overworked, and he's almost willing to quit boxing in order to help his mother, right? And it's only because one of his friends that was at the beginning of the anime a bully decides to help his mom that he's actually able to continue on his journey. And I'm actually getting teared up thinking about it because that's something that he has grown to love. And the last scene of that one episode is Ippo going back to the ring and just like breaking down, saying like, I'm home.
I'm sorry. I'm home. I'm home.
And you just feel happy for him because he was able to overcome this thing that almost took this entire journey away from him and away from us. And these are the moments that are just so inspirational about this anime. And I want to read to you one quote that is just amazing because it just applies to everyday life. And this is Coach, I believe, that says this. And he says, not everyone who works hard is rewarded. That's just a fact of life. And then the quote continues on to say, but all those who succeeded have worked hard. Like that's just so true. Right? We work hard and we're hoping for the best, and sometimes they may not work out. But the fact of the matter is that those that succeed, those that have something worth showing, had to work hard in order to achieve it. I am just super excited at the fact that Netflix picked up Fighting Spirit, because I think that hopefully it will have the Netflix effect, if you will. A ton of people will give this anime a shot, and who knows, we may either get a remake or we may get the continuation of the story from the manga. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what comes next with Fighting Spirit. Let me know in the comments if you grew up on this anime. This is an anime that I watched when I was a teenager growing up, and I loved it. I still love it today. Let me know if you were also a fan, and as always, I just want to remind you that we must persevere. Peace.